this tournament will, it's starting in a few days, or start technically today, and it will run right up basically until Passover starts. 3 weekends in a row, and there is some really, really exciting news at the top. 3 of the 4 number 1 seeds are being coached by Jews, and that is like spectacular. This
is spectacular. I mean, what we lack in actual like playing, we can really it comes back in leadership.
I guess so. So let's just run down those 3 teams. So we have Auburn, coached by Bruce Pearl. Florida, coached by Todd Golden. Todd was, of course, a student, I guess, of Pearl's. He worked on the Auburn
Pearl's
team.
A protege. He was an oyster that Bruce helped turn into a pearl.
Sure. A golden something. Anyways,
yes.
A pearl. We're going to torture this metaphor. And Jon Scheyer of Duke. Current
a pearl before swine. Overall. That's what he is.
That's right. And so those 3 number 1 seeds, I think anyone listening to this understands the way the NCAA men's tournament works. There's 64 teams in the field, 4 fields, 4 regions of 16. So a number 1 seed in each means that they're the favorite to make it to the Final Four. It's unlikely that all 3 of those teams will make it to the Final Four, but it would be surprising if none of them did. Like usually there's at least 2 number 1 teams. And this is pretty, I mean, I really do think this is something we're celebrating. We've talked before about how like there's something sort of specific about college basketball coach. That's like a real like vibe.
Yes. And it's like, it's halfway between camp counselor and like disappointed parent.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely
both of which Jewish people really have a corner on.
That's true. And it's very unique because like, I think of like an NFL head coach, their vibe being like, field marshal, of the entire
team.
Like they are
and like total psychopath.
Psychopath comes with the territory. I think for most of these people, if you're a professional
any
coach,
of these people,
you got there by outworking other people and by being more determined. Like you have grit. You can tell these people what to do. But football coach, and there have been Jewish pro football coaches, obviously, and college football coaches, but that's like field marshal. Like it's very tactical. It's very like oversight. Baseball manager is more like vibes. Like, you can have a baseball manager who like doesn't seem to know the X's and O's part of things too well, but like can really manage.
He's not an X's and O's guys. That's true. It's a very common thing people say.
And I think that's true of NBA basketball coach as well, where it's just sort of like you need to have respect of of the guys who are playing for you, like who are all adults and like, are grown men and like, have their own opinions and thoughts about the world. Like you need to have their trust. But college basketball coaches, like you have this group of like 10 to 15, 20-year-old kids, like 19, 20-year-old kids who are looking to you for like, I guess like leadership and fatherhood and tactics and like you have to, like as you said, like it is sort of like
also tough love.
Your camp counselor analogy is right because it is about that size too, right? Like it's a smaller team. A basketball
there's
team
15.
Is a smaller team.
It's a cabin. The basketball team is a cabin.
Exactly. So that these 3 Jewish guys are all really good at it. I mean, Jon Scheyer obviously was a very high level player. He played at Duke. Todd Golden played ball at St. Mary's. It's not that he he was no slouch. He played in Israel as well.
St. Mary's.
I don't know if Bruce.
That's going to come up later. A Jewish player at a Catholic school, or a Jewish player at a Christian school. That's going to come up later. Not to put any.
A golden.
I think we're getting there. Yeah, exactly.
But very impressive to see these guys succeed at such a high level. I mean, Bruce Pearl is probably is the longest tenured and has had some real success in the past at the NCAA tournament. He took Auburn to the Final Four in 2019. He won a championship at Southern Indiana. 30 years ago. He coached at Milwaukee, coached at Tennessee.
Back when schools like Southern Indiana had a chance at winning the championship.
Well, Division II championship.
Oh, Division II. Oh, yeah, they could always win something like that.
Yeah. So, he's had a lot of success. Obviously, he's had an illustrious career. I think probably as well known for anything these days online for being a very outspoken supporter of Israel. He has brought Auburn to Israel 4 games in the past. He's been very outspoken, and I saw him wrapping tefillin the other day So good on Bruce Pearl for having more patience with people demanding him to rap film than I do.
Yeah, with Chabudniks on the street.
They came to my door.
Most of us.
They knocked on my door 2 weeks ago and asked me. And
really, did they ask you if you were Jewish? Did they bother with that question? I assume you have a mezuzah. You're not an animal.
Yeah, and I was busy working. Let's say I didn't quite have the moment for it. So that's pretty impressive.
Gotcha.
For the top three seeds on the men's side, and there are a few other players we want to talk about. But first, I want to mention a shout out to the other number one seed, which is Houston. Houston's coach is not Jewish, but Houston's starting point guard is a young man named Emmanuel Sharp. Now, despite the name, because Manny Sharp absolutely, sounds like a machar at the country club. But Emmanuel Sharp, not Jewish,
totally
was born in Tel Aviv. His dad is named Derek Sharp, and Derek is a legendary player with Maccabi Tel Aviv. He's an American guy. He played basketball at South Florida, and then had a 15-year career at Maccabi. Coached for a couple years under David Blatt. When he was there, he met his wife, who's actually Canadian. Her name is Justine Ellison. She was a basketball player as well. She played for the Varsity Blues and was playing basketball in Israel. They met, and one of the four kids, their oldest is Emmanuel Sharp, who's the point guard at Houston. So very cool. Emmanuel has played for Team Israel. I think he played for the U16 team or maybe the U18 team. He has some Hebrew letters tattooed on his arm, which, again, is very cool.
Ooh.
Not a Jewish guy, but obviously has a significant Jewish connection.